So you want that BMW. You want that Mercedes. Well, that BMW and that Mercedes could be one of the worst decisions you've ever made in your life. I'm Larry of the No Regret Show. We talk finances, we talk stocks, we talk real estate, we talk car buying. I try to help people not destroy their finances. The 1% will listen, the 99% will not listen. They will be hard-headed know-it-alls and then be crying somewhere down the line when they are trying to buy a $20,000 Honda Odyssey, but they're trying to figure out what to do with the dead equity of $40,000 from that Mercedes. Now they're looking at a $60,000 Honda Odyssey. So ladies and gentlemen, the first thing you got to understand, and you're probably asking, why would I take advice from you? Well, I have an 860 credit score. Recently, I just bought a RAV4 for Aruba. The people who follow me, if you're new here, we own real estate in Aruba that we're looking to retire to one day, God willing. And we're getting the things in place. We're looking to ship a car over there. There's some terms that you got to have. You got to have it paid off for like 6 months. You got to own it and register it for like a year, So it's going to take some time. I'm going to knock that off the principal. I'm going to pay that car off. But this brings me to my first point. The first thing I feel is a lot of people let other people's opinions be their car purchase, meaning your friends, family. If the person is not in your life and they're not helping you make these payments and repairs, their opinions don't matter. Buy your car to get you from point A to point B, okay? Don't buy your car as a status symbol. A lot of people buy their cars to show people they made it. You got to have the mindset like a lot of other cultures have. I'm going to come out and say this. A lot of Africans, Haitians, Asian, I might have said Asians, right? All right, Asians, Africans, Haitians, Hasidic Jews, people like that, they don't care what type of car they drive. In their community, a car is just a form of transportation. They're working on other things, building up their community, buying real estate, investing, helping out their family. That's what their priorities are. Our priorities as Americans is clout. Don't let people's opinions dictate your next purchase, because when the repairs come and the payment comes or you lose a job, trust me, they're going to be long gone. I've yet to write a check with anyone's opinion, okay? People had their opinions with me buying a RAV4. You bought a 9-year-old RAV4, but then you go, hey, I'll drive whatever you want. You pay the shipping costs, you buy the car. Hey, you send it, I'll drive whatever you want. You want me to drive a Tesla over there? Yo, you want me to drive a Tesla? Buy me a Tesla and send it. You shut them up real quick, okay? A lot of times you could just brush these people off because all they have is opinions, all right? Number two, what you pay for the car and what you owe on the car is not the value of the car. A lot of people get these confused, meaning you buy a car for $20,000. You leave the dealership, the finance, the buy now, pay here, wherever you went, Carvana, it don't matter. Say you owe $35,000 to the bank. There's going to be somebody who gives you a loan for that car. You owe $35,000. 2 years down the road, you owe $30,000. The car's worth $15,000. You're on the hook for $15,000. The bank is not going to eat that. The next dealer is going to have to do finagling to get that $15,000 of debt equity rolled into the next car. For the next 5 to 10 to 15 years, you could be literally destroying your wealth because you keep rolling debt equity. Know what you owe on the car, meaning a lot of people, what they'll do is they'll go to the dealership and they'll be shocked that the car is worth 10 grand and they owe 20. Oh, I didn't know that. You got to know. Now you're in a tough spot. Your pride is there. You don't want to look bad. You feel like you just wasted the dealer's time. Now you get pressured into this deal and you just rolled 10,000 of debt equity into the next car. Guess what? You didn't have a surplus. That means you're financing tax, title, tags of the new car. So now you're paying tax on financing tax and you're paying financing on tax. You see, it's just a cycle of poverty. If you want that car, that next car, and you want to level up, make sure you pay off or pay down as much principal of that current car. Meaning, if you have $1,000 payment, here's how you could tell if you really can afford that car. you are making $3,000 a month, meaning you are paying $1,000 and you're knocking off and you're chipping away $2,000 extra a month at the principal. You see, a lot of people don't understand there's a principal. The principal is what you owe on the car, meaning your payment is just a payment. Your payment can go for 7-10 years, who knows? But the principal is what you want to take a look at. You want to pay off that principal as much as you can, meaning if you finally want to go for that next car, you're having a kid, you need to level up, you need a SUV. You owe 15 grand on that car and it's worth 15 grand. Knock off 15 grand or 10 grand or 5 grand. That way you can take a surplus and you have a down payment on the next car and you're not rolling dead equity. Find out the value of your car, go to kbb.com so you're not surprised, and then call the loan, whoever you have your loan from, sit down with a pen and pad and subtract the difference. That difference is most likely going to be the same difference when you go to that dealership, so you're not surprised. Keep that car as long as you can, all right? Keep that car paid off, drive it into the ground. That's what I would do. Here's another thing. When you get these high-end cars, you got to understand these Mercedes, these Volvos, these Benzes, these Bentleys, the repairs can be catastrophic. The Audis, I'm telling you, I am telling you, a bulb in the M2. I had an M2, I had a manual transmission M2. It's desirable. Everybody wants it. I still lost 2 grand on it. You want to know why? Depreciation. What you pay for the car is not what you're going to get for the car. It's not like one of the rare Grand Nationals that happen to go up, crazy in the past 30 years. Oh man, I would so take that car. If I didn't have this RAV4 I got to ship and I didn't possibly have to get my niece a car and help her with college, oh man, I would pull the trigger on that Grand National. You know if you know. You know if you know, I would get that. Oh, I'm my next car is gonna be so less technology. I don't want no crazy computers, no sensors, no cameras. I want to go back. I want to go back in the day. Okay, so you gotta understand these cars depreciate, and when things break, a bulb in the M2 went. It was $600. You're probably saying, why was it $600? Because it needed a sensor for the bulb, it needed a computer for the bulb, and they had to recode the ECU for the new bulb and computer. That's what they be getting you with at the dealer. A lot of these shops can't even work on these German cars. Transmission goes, you can't just bring this to a regular gas station. A lot of times you blow a tire. You can't just go to a tire shop. They don't even carry a lot of these low profile, wide, Z-rated tires. You got to go to a dealership or you got to go to a tire shop, order it, and ride around with a donut for the next 4 days with a sensor on because your computer picks up that there's a donut and you can't even go faster than 55 miles per hour. Trust me, been there, done that, don't want to go back. A lot of people make these high-end purchases because they just get a job or they make a little money and they can barely make the payment. You're making the payment for a while, but what happens when inflation comes? What happens with a job loss? What happens with a car repair? What happens when you get sick? It happens. What can go wrong will go wrong, and they go wrong at the same time. You lose a job the same time your kid gets hurt in school and now they got a cast on. Now you don't have medical insurance. What happens? A lot of people don't brace for the what ifs. You got to brace for the what ifs, okay? What can go wrong, Murphy's Law. What can go wrong will go wrong, and a lot of times they go the same damn time. Have enough money to put down on the car. A lot of people will have just enough. You'll go for a $50,000 car and have $2,000, $2,500, $3,000. I would have at least $20,000 to put down on the car. I would have about $10,000 in surplus cash for the what if that will go wrong. And I would have another $10,000, meaning I would have like $40,000 tucked away in cash. If you really want this car, you'll put down a huge amount. And what I like to do is this. If I don't have 5 to 10 times the value of the car, either in savings or investments, I'm not buying that car. Meaning if the car is $100,000, if I don't have $500,000 or $1 million, or I'm not pulling in the rental income from the rental properties that I want, I'm not buying it. I'm an adult now. I'm not being a kid. I'm not going out doing the things that I want to do. I'm doing the things that I need to do to reinsure I come through with the promises to myself of retiring early, getting to Aruba, God willing, being able to take summers off. I like my free time, spending time with the dog, chilling with my woman, family, and friends. I don't want something in my driveway to be dictating how much I gotta work or how long I gotta be at work. I don't want to be a slave to debt. So hope you made it this far. We're going to try to help out with these car videos because, you know, we've talked about stocks. We talked about all this stuff. I want to cover all the bases. A lot of people are destroying their finances when it comes to vehicles, depreciating assets. Don't do it. You got great channels out here like Yusef that is trying to help people, but he knows people are not going to listen. So he's going to be able to, you know, sell those high-end cars and sell those entry-level cars. But get yourself something to get back and forth to work. Get a Japanese car, get a Korean car, get a car that, you know, these Camrys and Corollas and Hondas and Kias, they're made to go like 300,000 miles in third world countries. That's why I got a RAV4. I got a 9-year-old RAV4 with 45, 47, 48,000 miles on it because I know, knock on wood, God willing, this car will go 300,000, 250,000 miles in another country. And if it breaks, it's mass produced. There's nothing but Toyotas and Hondas and Kias over there. So if something breaks, I have a very good chance of being able to get the parts for it. So hope you made it this far. Think about subscribing, join the channel. I'm Larry of the No Regret Show. We really try to help people with their finances. We don't play. We're trying to get results out of life. You got one life. You don't want to live it always paying someone else or paying the bank. No regrets. Get it.